Miho looks so weird with my hood on. It's so funny to look at. Anyways, we are back. Last episode was freaking huge. We were confessed to. Me and Miho were both stunned into silence. It was a good time, man. I loved. I was fangirling so hard. I feel like I was like way too reserved. In my head, it was just like a whole of, oh, it's happening. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Oh my god. And then outside, out in the like what I was actually saying was like, oh my gosh, guys, I can't believe like that was actually happening. I'm fanboying so hard right now. That's how it felt when I was saying it, at least. I felt like I was in like my brain was going 1,000 times harder than my head. That might also because I didn't want to blow out anyone's eardrums. I think I'm slightly conscious of that. But you know what? Anyways, we have to wait a whole freaking day before we can actually continue that conversation with her, which freaking sucks. So I was kind of hoping that we were going to go on a little trip with her, even if it was even like I kind of thought like maybe that's where this is going. Maybe she's going to be like, "Hey, want to go on a trip with me instead of like staying here for the day?" And I was going to be like, oh, "Yes." But it's fine. It's fine. I can wait for her to get back even if it slightly kills me. With all that being said, let's get into it. I make my way back to the library, like a zombie, my feet moving without really thinking about it. Aspen's words keep replaying over and over in my head. I get them, but I can't make sense of them. There's not a sound to be heard from the empty aisles when I enter. Juliet having finished tidying up in the hour or so that's passed since I left, after a quick glance around, I head towards the stairs. When I head up to the second floor, I spot a sliver of light from underneath Juliet's bedroom door. I knock and it opens just a moment later. Gosh, Juliet's like, I want to say more casual clothes. S tier. It's such a good fit. Juliet greets me with a calm smile at first, but the corners of her mouth falters when she looks at my face. I don't quite know what expression I'm making right now. I don't know what I'm even feeling to begin with.
Miho, did something happen?
Aspen said she's in love with me.
Oh, I see.
Juliet's not the type to be shocked easily. That's why I wanted to see her for advice. But she's even less surprised than I thought she would be.
Give me just a moment, and I'll meet you in my study.
I nod and head over there, opening the door. As I walk into the darkness, I'm met by several pairs of eyes.
What?
Is it the bats? Just as startled as I am, several bats begin to flap their wings and noisily take flight, chittering overhead before most of them leave out the open window. The biggest one watches me for a bit longer before departing as well. By the time Juliet enters the study and turns on the lamp, it's just me and her.
Sorry I scared off all your bats.
It's fine, don't worry. I'll be back before too long.
We settle down at the same seats as last time, with Juliet behind her desk and me across from it.
So, Aspen.
Yeah. Aspen.
I wonder what Aspen's thinking right now. Is her head as much of a mess as mine? Probably knowing her.
We had just gotten to the bus station when she stopped and said it. She said she waited until just before she left, so she didn't have to hear my feelings until tomorrow, when she gets home.
And what are your feelings?
Love. Just nothing but love. But then Miho's gonna be like, I don't know, I'm kind of confused.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't ever...
Also, if you guys can hear my little dog in the background snoring, that's all it is. It's just a little dog snoring.
thought about love or someone being in love with me. I don't even really know what it means. I know the word, but how does it feel? How would I know? The other day, you talked about how much you loved Cosette, and how you didn't know much about love before then. This is a different love from that.
Very much so, yes. She thinks to herself for a while, carefully considering her answer. I'm glad she does. At least one of us can stand back and think over this properly.
Yes and no. Of course, the bond between a parent and a child is different than that of two partners, but it comes from the same part of the heart. The part that you give away to somebody else. Love is when you care about another person so much that the feeling becomes bigger than you. When your life is more full and joyful for the presence of that person in it. I could throw out any number of cliches, but they'd be meaningless. What love means and how it feels are different for every person. To speak from my own experiences, love is like a flower. It starts as something tiny, but as it's nurtured and cared for, it grows.
I didn't realize
It
she was done
reaches
talking. I'm so
toward the
sorry.
sunlight and towards something better, and blooms into something beautiful. Not all flowers grow at the same rate, and not all flowers look the same. But wouldn't you agree that that's the joy of flowers, Miho?
Gosh, Juliet's so freaking smart, dude. I look up from the floor towards Juliet, who's watching me warmly.
I like flowers, but I've never grown one before.
That's not. It's a metaphor. You know, it's a metaphor. It's fine. Hang on, I need to adjust my headphones really quick. There we go. Wait. Mouse, stop running away. Stop running away from me. There we go. I'll just click on her armpit.
The same can be said for everyone at some point. But as long as you're willing to give it the time and patience that it deserves, even the tiniest seed can become something wonderful.
Juliet must see the confusion on my face because she touches my hand gently.
You should take some time to yourself, Miho. We can talk about it later tonight, if you're ready. If you needed even more time, I'm sure Aspen would understand.
Yeah. I need to think about it. And sorry for waking you up. Or keeping you up. Whichever.
It's no trouble at all. I'm glad that you felt comfortable coming to me about this.
It was the first thing I did. Thanks, by the way. You helped me out a lot.
Gosh, I'm so glad I did all that thinking about who I was actually gonna like do the first route with before I got to the choice, because after everything with Juliet, it was like actually like a hard decision. I was thinking about it for like the whole day leading up to like that episode. I'm so glad I decided to do it there because I didn't expect it to happen there, because it's a hard choice.
Of course. It's my pleasure. It's what friends are for.
Oh, I have a scratch. Hang on. Sorry. This is such a weird little distraction. I have like a scratch on my finger, and I have no idea how I got there. That's really weird. Anyways. Juliet returns to bed, and I go back to my room as well. I sit down on the floor, which is where I've done a lot of my best thinking lately. I lean against my bed and turn on the TV. There sure are lots of shows and movies about love, aren't there? It's difficult to imagine that concept applying to me. I do know that I care about Aspen a lot. I like being around her, I like talking to her, I look forward to seeing her when she's not there. We're friends. But could we be more than that? Yes. I spent a few hours stewing in my thoughts and not coming to any conclusions. Love feels like something that couldn't and shouldn't apply to me, and yet here I am. Hours pass as I consider the issue from every different angle. I end up with more questions than answers. Is it something I want? Is it something I could even do? What I choose to say to Aspen doesn't just affect me, but it affects her too. No matter what, both of our lives are about to change. And no matter what, I have to make a decision. I'm sure that I'll have some doubts either way, but I just can't ignore or run away from this. So after turning it over and over in my mind, I finally make a choice. Slowly, I stand up and head downstairs. My legs feel like jelly as they carry me towards another huge moment. My hands shake, but I hold on tightly to the banister as I head down to the kitchen, where Juliet's making tea. There's a second mug set on the table full of steaming hot chocolate. Oh my gosh, Juliet, you're the best.
Right on time, like always. I was just about to call for you.
I heard you get up a little while ago. I was still doing some thinking, though.
Mm-hmm.
I see. So I take it that means you've made up your mind about Aspen, then?
Yeah. It wasn't easy, but I have.
Matters of the heart are rarely easy. Shall we sit?
Yeah.
We take our usual seats, the third one conspicuously empty. I take a big gulp of my hot chocolate while Juliet takes a small sip of tea. Wiping my mouth with the back of my hand, I lean back in my chair, take a deep breath, and nod.
I've decided.
Mm-hmm. Oh my, wait, what happens if you do the other one? Return. Yes, I want to try things. Well, I mean, but Juliet's pretty S-tier. I mean, I'm kidding. We already decided that we're going down this path, and Juliet's path's next, okay? I'm making a joke. I want to try things with Aspen, yes.
I want to try things with Aspen.
Oh, let's go.
I know it'll be hard, but I want to try.
I feel more sure of the words as I say them. Something about this decision feels right. I do want to try. Like Aspen said yesterday, it's out there now and I can't take it back.
I know she's a human, and so someday it'll hurt. But I can't just always run away from things that are painful. Because if it hurts, that means it was important, doesn't it?
Exactly.
It certainly does. That's a wise way to think about it.
I know I don't know much about love, or how to be in love with someone. But I'm willing to learn, and try.
As I speak, I feel something stir in my heart. That feeling of excitement that pushed me forward so many times before kept me motivated in my lifelong search. Is that the feeling that could grow? I've always struggled to put a name to it. Could it be?
Trying is all anyone could ask of you, Aspen or otherwise. All you have to do is be yourself. That's who Aspen fell in love with, after all. I can't tell you how happy I am for both of you.
As it begins to sink in, I feel a grin spreading across my face. Aspen is in love with me, and I think that maybe, just maybe, I could be in love with her too. Oh, look at all the little blushies. Oh, that's so cute.
Thanks. I wish she was here, so I could tell her right now. Tomorrow seems so far away.
I'm certain she's thinking the same thing. Still, it is rather like her to say something so momentous and then disappear. It took quite a while for her to work up the courage to tell you.
And this is when Juliet's been like, yeah, she's loved you since the day you showed up. With a wink, Juliet lifts her teacup.
I wouldn't be surprised if she borrowed the idea from some book or another.
Yeah, you're probably right. And wait, you knew she was gonna tell me?
Maybe.
Not exactly. I've known for a long time that she held feelings for you. She never told me outright, but Aspen isn't particularly subtle.
I never noticed. But I guess I don't know what I would have been looking for either.
All that's important is that she was able to tell you how she felt. And you were able to accept those feelings. Anything along the way was but a means to the same end.
Juliet's right, not just about Aspen, but about my life in general, as she herself pointed out not that long ago. I thought it had all been for nothing, pointless ever since Jongin died, without my knowing, as if I had reached a dead end myself. But that was just the end of a chapter in my life, not the whole story as Aspen would say. I had thought my life as I knew it was ending, and maybe that was true. On the other hand, I feel like a new life for myself is just beginning, one that isn't so solitary and lonesome. Nearly every day I discover something new about myself, things I used to think were impossible, at least for someone like me. Maybe I'm not so different after all. I found a new place to belong, and someone new to share my life with, as much of it as I can. Aspen, who's seen just as many different sides of me as I have of her, and who still chose to tell me she loved me, even though she never told anyone that before. I can't wait for her to get back, so we can find out what's next together. Oh, Oh, stop. Oh my gosh, my heart can't handle this. With nothing more to really say about it until Aspen returns, Julia and I move on to talking about other things like the library and recent events. I feel pleasantly warm like I'm glowing as we sit there and chat. That sensation carries me through the rest of the evening and all the way to bed where I lie for hours. Usually I'm frustrated when the chaos of my own thoughts stop me from falling asleep, but for the first time ever, excitement rather than fear is what keeps me awake. Instead of just waiting for the day to end, I close my eyes looking forward to the dawn of tomorrow. Oh, that was so cute. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Again, this is why I love this game so much. It's like one of the best things that making me go like it making me feel things ever, and I love it. For once, my struggle to fall asleep worked out in my favor. I sleep until later than usual the next morning, meaning I don't have to wait as long for Aston's bus to arrive. I've barely even woken up and I'm already thinking about her. Oh, looking up at the ceiling, I can't help but smile. I wonder if she's thinking about me too. I'm too full of nervous energy to stay in bed for too long, so I hop up and get ready in a hurry. In the kitchen, I figured Juliet must have already eaten, cleaned up, and gone to bed, because I don't see any dishes or leftover food. To my surprise, she comes downstairs just a minute after I do.
Good morning.
Hey! I didn't wake you up, did I?
No, not at all. Although I was upstairs, I thought I'd wait and have breakfast with you like usual.
Oh, thanks. Sorry for keeping you waiting. I kind of fell asleep late, so I slept in too.
Understandable. I'm sure you have lots on your mind.
Just a few things.
You can say that again.
I take my seat at the table while Juliet pokes through the
Are
fridge.
you hungry for anything in particular?
Not really. Maybe something light? I don't think I can finish a big meal right now.
Chuckling, Juliet retrieves a couple pieces of fruit and some cheese.
Butterflies in your tummy?
I haven't eaten anything. I'm just nervous.
Oh.
I'm sure I would be too, in your position. Although, Aspen did the difficult task of taking the first step. You have the luxury of being the one to respond.
To be fair, being on the other end, I would say if being the first one to say is like a 10 out of 10, like in terms of difficulty, being the one to respond is still like an 8 or a 9. It's still pretty hard. Speaking as someone who's been on both ends essentially, so.
That's true.
Juliet sets a platter with slices of apples and oranges, as well as a few blocks of cheese on the table between us, and I idly munch on some fruit.
Do you want to come wait at the station with me? I'm leaving after we're done eating.
Wait, so hang on. Aspen didn't leave until the evening and didn't get there till late at night, and she's coming back early in the day? This is the shortest trip ever.
I'll pass, but thank you. The two of you will have plenty to talk about on your own, I'm sure. But I imagine I'll see you both later tonight?
Definitely.
The minutes pass by agonizingly slow, especially after Juliet goes to bed. But, oh, okay, so she was, not actually leaving immediately after breakfast. She was still waiting a bit. Okay, I was gonna be so she visited her parents for, 3 hours and then is leaving? That's a little weird. But it's late enough for me to leave. I burst up from my seat, forcing myself not to walk too fast. As long as I'm walking, I'm doing something. If I get there too early, I have to wait, and I hate waiting. Humming to myself, I follow the same route Aspen and I took yesterday. If I wanted to, I could have found a faster way, or even a longer way to kill more time. It's not worth the risk of getting lost, though. The closer I get to the station, the faster my heart races. The growing anticipation, the way I can't think about anything else, it reminds me of something I haven't experienced in ages. It reminds me of the days in the forest towards the end of my time as a regular fox. The way it felt on the way to the clearing every day to see my person. Aww. Back then it was different, of course. More instinct, less thinking, but it still pushed me forward. That was love, wasn't it? In my own way, just like Juliet said. Usually something like that would stop me in my tracks, but today it just makes me smile. My good mood carries me the rest of the way to the bus station. I pause at the intersection where we stood yesterday when Aspen said everything. This spot will be special to me forever, I already know it. I hurry across to the other side. There are a handful of other people waiting, standing or leaning against the fence. I sit down on one of the empty benches, practically buzzing with anticipation. I watch the clock as it continues to tick away until finally the scheduled minute comes and there's no bus. I sigh, disappointed but not too surprised. Since when are buses ever exactly on time anyway? Soon the bus is a couple minutes late, and then 5 minutes, and it gets harder and harder not to worry.
I think she left early.
Yeah, I notice I'm not alone. Some of the other people waiting are beginning to get agitated too. One person stands on the edge of the sidewalk, peering in either direction. A couple others who have been waiting in the boarding zone since I got here sit down on one of the benches near me and pull out their phones. One of them taps a few times, reads something, and then groans.
Told you. Delayed. Says it right here.
Oh no, come on, don't do this to me. Is it gonna be like she has to like race to get there before Aspen forgets about her?
Guess I owe you a tenner. It say how long?
Nope. Just says delayed due to vehicle issues.
Dread seizes me. With a shaky hand, I tap one of the travelers on the shoulder.
Excuse me. Which bus is it that's delayed?
Ah, that be Route 4. You waiting for it too?
My friend's on it. I don't know which, but she was supposed to be here 10 minutes ago.
Aye. Well, probably the same one then. Bad luck, but it does happen every now and then. I hope you weren't in a hurry.
I was, actually. Do you know what they'll do? What'll happen to the people on the bus?
Well, I imagine the city will have to send someone out, figure out what's wrong, fix it, or send a replacement. I'm sure your friend will get here one way or another, but it could be hours.
Oh no.
I want to give them a call and find out where they are. Might be quicker for them to find their own ride home.
I vault off the bench before he's even finished speaking, dashing back the way I came.
Good luck.
I barely hear him. Of all the buses to break down, of all the days for it to happen, as I run, I can't help but think about how unfair it is. For anyone else in the world, a couple-hour bus delay would be annoying, but that's it. But for me and Aspen, I wouldn't even want to think about what would happen if she forgets me. After getting back to the library in record time, I practically crash through the doors as I head upstairs. For the second day in a row, I knock on Juliet's bedroom door before having to bend over to catch my breath. It's been ages since I've run that long, and it shows. Juliet answers the door quickly.
What's wrong?
Aspen's bus still isn't here. Someone at the station said one of them broke down on the way. What if it was hers?
Wordlessly, Juliet hurries to retrieve her phone, and it looks weirdly out of place in her hands as she navigates through several screens slower than Aspen would. Her face turns grim after reading for a moment.
You're right.
The confirmation just tightens the knot in my chest, and I can just barely manage to croak out a question.
What do we do?
How long do you have left?
2 hours. A little less.
She shouldn't be too far away. I'll try calling her.
It doesn't even ring, and it says go straight to voicemail. I look up at Juliet helplessly, trying to ignore the panic that'll overrun me if I let it.
She did say that she'd have poor reception en route. Here, Miho. Keep trying. I'll be back in a moment.
She hands me the phone and shows me how to use it before hurrying into her bedroom. I hit the button again, staring at the small contact of Aspen that Juliet has saved. It's a picture of Aspen at the breakfast table, smiling awkwardly. Her voicemail message starts again, so I cancel and try again, and again, and again, with the same result every time. I end the call and start another one, for what must be the 6th or 7th time. My thumb is on the end button out of habit, and I barely manage to stop myself from pressing it.
Aspen!
There's a loud burst of static.
You! Aspen! It's me! Where are you?
Juliet comes back out when she hears me, waiting anxiously by my side. Aspen says something again, but it's garbled by the connection.
What? I can't hear you!
King reception, let me...
Oh! Everything goes quiet, and for a terrible moment, I'm afraid that the call's dropped.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Instead, I nearly drop the phone when her voice comes through again, much clearer this
Good.
time.
I can't move from this spot then. It's the only place I have service.
Where are you?
God, we're so close. I can literally see the city in the distance. something's wrong with the bus. I don't know what.
Wait, okay, but if you can see it, this Juliet doesn't have a car, does she? I think we just walk everywhere. Could we get like a taxi or an Uber or something and just like come out to get you? Like, is it like too far for that?
Said there's another one coming to pick us up, but I'm not sure when it's supposed to be here.
We only have 2 hours before.
I know. Trust me, I know. I was hoping the replacement would be here sooner, but that's not going to happen.
Aspen, you said you're close. Do you know where exactly?
I don't know, but there's just the one road into the city, and I can see it. That's what I'll do, actually. I'll start walking towards the city, and hopefully I'll see the other bus on the way.
Will that work?
I don't know. I'm going to do it anyway.
Juliet and I look at each other. I wonder if she has the same thought I do.
Okay. I'm coming too.
What? Coming where?
Wherever you are. You said it's just one road, right? I'll meet you on it.
You'll... Okay. I understand.
I mean, if she turns into a fox, she can probably run there, like, obviously not as fast as a car, but like faster than if they were to running normally.
I'll be there on time. I promise.
From the other end of the line comes the very clear sound of Aspen sniffling.
Okay. I'll see you soon. As soon as I start walking, I'll probably lose reception again. I'll try to call you when I can.
Oh, I hate the sound of her crying. It hurts. It hurts.
Okay. Okay, I'm on my way.
The line clicks dead, and I try to hand Juliet her phone back, but she
No
shakes her
nonsense.
head.
You can bring it back to me after you find her.
I nod. There's no time to talk about anything
How do I
else.
get there?
Juliet pulls up a map and shows me, pointing out where the
I was going
library
to try
is.
to find a taxi. Between traffic and everything else, I'm not sure would be faster. It's so far away, though, Miho. Are you sure you'll be all right?
I will. I have to be.
I immediately take for the stairs, pausing for just a
Thanks.
second.
Thank me later. Together.
Oh. I nod and then transform as I bolt out the front door. Foxes can't run as long as humans can, but they can run faster. As a Gumiho, maybe I can do both. Wind whips at my tails as I rush forward, channeling whatever willpower and determination I can into running. The map Juliet gave me showed which roads to take to get out of the city, but I don't need roads. I run straight for the edge of town, dodging traffic, pedestrians, and more. Dogs bark as I race through the yards, and shocked people gape at me as I dash past them without paying any attention. I don't even know how long I run for, I just know that I don't stop. Even when my legs and chest start to ache, I keep going. A little pain now is nothing compared to what losing Aspen would be like. The buildings begin to thin out, even as traffic increases, and finally I find myself out of Wellington. Following the road, I race towards where Aspen must be. Cars and trees fly by, replacing the buildings and street signs. There are hills and forests that I'm sure are as beautiful as everything else I've seen, but I hardly notice them at all. The longer I run, the more it starts to take a toll on me. Against my will, I can feel my speed flagging, each step taking just a little more effort than the last. I've pushed this form to its absolute limit, and eventually it brings me to a halt. I change form once again, gasping for air as I place my hands on my knees, trying to catch my breath. The run from the station back to the library winded me, and this was many times harder. But I can't stop moving. I have to keep going. I have to. Lungs on fire and with my legs feeling like lead, I make myself take another step and then another. Mustering all my strength, I break into a jog, the fastest I can manage. I keep my gaze set on the horizon, hoping for a glimpse of her. Anything to set my heart and mind at ease, anything. The sun begins to dip even lower, as if even the sky is reminding me that time is running out. My steps are leaden and my mind abuzz with wordless fear and worry. At first, I don't believe my eyes when I finally spot someone walking in my direction, far off in the distance. Please let it be her. A steady trot is all I can do by now, I let that slow to a normal walking pace. The other figure and I walked towards each other, but the sun shines. I'm so sorry, I'm reading so bad. But the sun shines in my face and obscures them from vision. Raising one hand to shield my eyes, I see the familiar hat, the glint of the light on the familiar glasses. I see Aspen running towards me. All I can do is stand there, overwhelmed with relief so intense that all I can do is shake. I made it. She's here.
Miho.
As she approaches, she slows and then comes to a stop.
Miho.
I don't even know what to say. How can I respond? How can I put all the excitement, the worry, and the relief that she's made me feel in the past 24 hours into words? How do I say it? Silently, I close the distance between us. I can hear her eyes searching mine, looking for an answer to the unspoken question. Overhead, the sun dips behind a cloud, done watching us for the day and throwing a handful of colors into the sky as it leaves. I struggle to find words before, but this is different. Like Aspen said yesterday, not just any words will do. I stop an arm's length from Aspen, close enough to see the glint of tears behind her eyes, hiding in her eyes.
So worried.
Her voice is barely a whisper, but I can't hear anything else. Looking up into her eyes, I'm surprised to find the answer to my own question. Hang on, sorry. That was a terrible timing for like my phone to just go off at me. I need to start putting it on silent when I record or stream. One that I didn't know I wanted to ask until just now. One that requires more than words, or maybe less. What? 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 Oh my gosh. Oh my, okay, I'm not screaming for the sake of not blowing up my mic and making it peak and all that, but oh my god, it happened. Oh my gosh, it happened. Oh my gosh. What? I was not expecting that. That knocked me off my feet. Like as soon as she said like, I was like kind of confused where she was like going with like what she was saying, and then as soon as like it like started like going towards the CJ, I was like, oh my gosh, are we about to like smooch her? And then we smooched her. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I take the last step that separates us and lean forward to kiss Aspen. The marks of human affection have always seemed so strange and foreign to me, and maybe even unappealing. As I kiss her, I think I understand. Without hesitation, Aspen's hand rises to my face, holding me in place as if I'd want to leave. She moves like she was waiting for this. Maybe she was. It's unlike anything I've ever felt before. The closeness, the warmth. I place my own hand against her wrist. I think maybe I understand Aspen's fears better now, because I would also be content in this moment if this moment lasted forever. Even when we separate, Aspen's hands stay on my shoulder, keeping me close.
See you think about what I said.
Just a little bit.
Practically nothing else.
Oh my gosh. My heart is just but like in a good way, you know what I mean? Pulling me into a hug, Aspen rests her face against mine.
The only one then.
She sighs contentedly.
There's so much more I want to say, but this is hardly the place to say it now, is it?
I'd nearly forgotten where we were, not far from the side of the road. Turning around, I look back at the city, which is starting to light up for the evening.
Right. It's kind of a long way home, you know.
Aspen squeezes my hand.
All the time in the world.
Oh, open ending chapter 4. Oh, this is such a cute little. This is like my favorite of the chapter cards so far. This is great. Oh my gosh. Okay, but I have to end it there. I legitimately like looked down at the time and like died inside when I saw that these two episodes have taken an hour and 20 minutes to record, because I'm like, I just want to keep playing. No, I want to keep recording. But it's fine. It's fine. We'll end it there. Whatever, I guess. Oh gosh, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe that's like, we still have 2 chapters left. And like each chapter is like as long as all the other ones. So we still have like a good like 8 hours of the game left. And we're together already. I love that. Cause like it's like one of my biggest pet peeves of like romance novels of like the story ends when the main characters get together. And I'm like, but I want to see you guys in a relationship and doing relationship things. I don't want the kiss to be the end of the story. So that's where I kind of thought about like why like the kiss caught me off guard is because like, you know, if you can't tell, I like romance things. I love them. So as long as they're actually like well written, obviously, because like so many of them are not. It's sort of like horror movies of like, I love the genre, but most of it is bad, I'd say. But if you find something that does it right, then it's just like, oh, just nothing but good, warm feelings that I'm so happy right now. Or even like the sad times to like make you are like enjoyable in a way, you know? They make you feel the right things, and I love it. So like the fact like when it kissed, I was like, I kind of saw it coming, but I was like, there's no way we're actually kissing right now. This isn't the end of the story. We're gonna kiss at the end. But no, we smooched her. We smooched Aspen, and now we're together, and that's incredible. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Anyways, with that being said, I'm so excited for whatever's next, and I'll see you all then. I can't say that. I'll see all you beautiful people in the next one. Bye-bye. Oh my gosh, also, hang on. Hang on. Look at this! The Joy of Flowers, the Aspen's Bus Running. This is so cute. Oh my gosh. Anyways, bye-bye for real.